As Myarua had said, they could gather every Royal Deadfire Company warship and face off against Eothas, and maybe at best take a chip off his kneecap. If they can do that, what can our lone ship do? I certainly wasn't able to stop the destruction at Cad Nua. So how could I stop him if I were to face him again? There just doesn't seem to be much that we can do about it. However, with the gods Andra and Magran opposed to Eothas, they could perhaps slow him down. Which will help give me time. Time to get a larger, more powerful ship, more crew, better equipment, more experience, something, anything, so we don't just instantly lose our souls to him and our bodies turn to dust. I don't know what we need to do to stop him, but there has to be something that can be done. It does all feel a bit desperate right now, though. I do not believe that we can stop Eothas, not at all. So, what do we do in the meantime? We carry on with the bounties, with the requests by the different factions to help them. We will keep sailing, keep fighting, and carry on until we cannot. And if Eothas manages to end the world before we are done, then so be it. But I will not sail my ship to instant death with zero hope of any victory. Love may be enough to get his attention, but would it be enough to stop him from ending the world? I would have to use that as a last, no, very last resort, because that's all I have right now. Well, let's see what the crew's up to. Oh, pickaxe, fragments of Endless Blade of the Endless Paths, fragments of Whispers of Yenwood. Despite being utterly destroyed with the devastation of Cad Nua, the sword known as Whispers of Yenwood was once again found its way into the possession of the keep's road warden, albeit in pieces. It would take a smith of some talent to reforge a weapon. With the right materials, however, perhaps the sword could become even greater than it was. Well, then we will take these with us. Letter from Afra? I hope this letter finds you in good health. It has been many summers now since you first arrived in Gilded Vale. Much has changed in those years, but I will never forget the kindness you showed me. The gods have blessed me with a son. He is healthy and strong, and already so curious. All of Gilded Vale dotes upon him. I have told him of you. He asks constantly after the Watcher who restored his spirit and hopes one day to meet you. Until then, know that we keep you in our prayers. Your most grateful servant, Afra. 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 I seem to remember. Is that not the sister of Callisto? She was pregnant. Calliska. That was her name. Calliska. Yes, I had briefly grouped with a woman named Calliska. When we got to the Gilded Vale, I believe I met her sister who was pregnant. She was terribly fearful of giving birth to a hollowborn child. But it is good news that the child isn't hollowborn. She has a son who asks for me. And many gods, I need a drink.
Watcher, tell me what's on your mind.
How are you feeling? Have you suffered any recent nightmares?
Not a one. Thanks to you, I'm sleeping like a babe. No, better even. I never knew nothingness could feel so warm and so nice.
Sounds like a heavy weight was lifted from your shoulders.
More like from my mind.
She nods.
No matter what comes to pass in the days and nights ahead, I won't forget who it was that brought me relief from the dreams. And the crush of the souls I'd acquired.
Okay. Alright, that's all for now.
You need me, I'll be 2 whoops and a holler away.
Okay. Yeah, this is what we share. And it's not much.
Vela, do you have any duties on board this ship?
Yes, I help scrub the deck and mend the sails and pour the grog and all sorts of things.
I wonder if you are small enough to fit down the bore of an Imperial long gun.
I don't know. Why?
Well, someone has to clean them.
Alright, I'll let the crew deal with that. 4 hours sleep at a go? Kill me now. Oh yes, Yidwin.
Captain.
Yidwin looks up from a book, her carmine eyes tightening on me.
Or should I call you the Watcher of Cadnua? I confess that title. Something of a mouthful.
Dick, you've heard something of me.
This and that. Your involvement in Duke Avar's hearings on animancy and the aftermath brought you to the attention of animancers across the Reach.
Cadnu is gone. It's just Captain now.
Captain it is, then.
Her chin raises slightly as she peers through her spectacles. I'm not sure I like the way she's looking at me.
When you took me aboard, you neglected to mention that you were in pursuit of a rampaging deity.
Could always leave you back at Neketaka.
No, I think I'd rather you not. The Blue Colossus may be one of the defining events of the age.
Blue? I thought it was green.
I count myself fortunate to bear witness to your investigation.
I hope we survive it.
Speaking of, let us return to it, yeah?
She bows slightly at the waist in farewell. Okay. Shield's sister Dahlia. Wish you kept a crew as shipshape as the Defiant. Pelagina?
I would not have guessed I would find myself back with the Watcher of Cadnua. Much less at the Order of Akanta.
Her expression fluctuates between amusement and annoyance.
I know that you did not intend for misfortune to befall me. And I appreciate what you said in Queen's Birth.
Oh?
Perhaps this time will go better for both of us.
Let's hope so, because if it doesn't, I assume that we're all gonna die.
You only have to ask.
Whatever happened with you and Manaha? Pelagina slowly turns her head in my direction. Eyebrows raised, inner eyelids nictitating out and back.
Que?
You and Manaha, you were together, weren't you?
Menea was a good
Oh,
companion
Menea.
and a skilled warrior. But her imagination got the better of her.
Oh, okay.
It appears to have gotten the better of you as well.
She runs her fingers along a wayward feather, pointing in an odd direction from her wrist, pressing it flush against her skin. Can you tell me more about what happened after we defeated Theos?
After we parted ways, I returned to the Republics and reported to the Duke's bells. I failed to complete my mission and had no excuses. The Republics had lost a golden opportunity to trade with the Glanfathens, and the Dukes were furious. They exiled me from the Brotherhood, scoured the suns from my breastplate, put me on a ship to raid Ceres. Diverus, I was lucky to escape with my life. I worked as a guard. Caravans, ships, wealthy merchants. I did not discriminate. After my exile, both my purpose and my pride were gone. The years have taken me from the Eastern Reach to the Deadfire. Some would say it is fate that has brought us together again, Watcher. But you must already know what I think.
Not particularly. I'm not an all-knowing person.
It is just luck. Time will tell if it is good or ill.
What's your opinion on what's happening with Eothas?
Well, even if he has taken a special interest in you, I doubt he is any less mad than I predicted. And I doubt Bereth and the other gods will consider your debt to them fulfilled. Merla, all of it. But this is just the same as before, no? The gods are playing their games and leaving us to settle the wager. We need to find a way to turn the tables on them, you and I. Diverus.
How do you like the Deadfires so far?
Where I am assigned is of no concern to me. But I do think the Deadfire can be profitable for the Republics.
Yeah, I don't really like this Audra shredding they're doing, though.
If the Dukes need me here, I am glad to serve them.
How are you?
Shoti.
She rolls her eyes, her golden eyes, and waves her hand dismissively. Oh, you have a problem with Shoti?
She is a child in thought, a child in action. If she wants to live in a fantasy, that is her choice.
Okay.
But she is so easily wounded by ideas counter to her own. Are Ed Saren's truly so sheltered?
No, not really. Look at Adair.
Whatever her problems are, they are hers. If she insists on trying to make them mine, she will end up hurt in more than one way.
Okay. Farewell.
Let's get a move
Constantine.
on.
Let's get a move on. Eothas?
Great and terrible things are at work. And once again, you seem to be in the middle of it.
Eothas is twisting the edge of his sash between his hands, a purposeful frown on his face.
The Rawatayans we passed will doubtless spread word of what you've done in Hasongo.
Isn't that good?
But others will want to know what you've seen. They'll look to you for answers.
He watches me uncertainly, his brow furrowed. I'll have to report truthfully.
You make it sound so simple.
He spreads his hands in exasperation. Pelagina holds up her hand, rubbing the tip of her middle finger against her thumb and nodding.
Don't you worry what will come next? What events you might move forward?
Pelagina holds up her hand, rubbing the tip of her middle finger against her thumb and nodding. What is this really about, Eothas? He sighs through his nose, his lips pressed together.
It reminds me of the question that drew me to the Deadfire. The one I've been avoiding.
He rubs the back of his neck.
I promised to tell you what I was doing among the Animancers at Port Maje.
Yes?
As you may have guessed, I was observing them, gathering information on the various Animancy operations in the region.
Do you think they're part of the Leaden Key operation? I thought you were looking for a particular Leaden Key group.
Yes, and how better to draw them out?
No?
Animancy is a subject of particular interest to the Leaden Key. Through it, I hope to pick up the trail.
A spark of pleasure gleams in his eye. And then?
That's where it gets complicated.
He purses his lips.
After that incident in Old Valia, I thought more about the Leaden Key and its particular composition.
Mostly lunatics in robes, as I recall. Isomir cackles gleefully as Eothas' thoughtful expression dissolves. After a moment, she fades away once more. The faint trace of a smile forms on Adair's lips. Thoughtful, Shoti rubs a knuckle along the edge of her jaw.
If you two are finished...
He gives me a sidelong glance, but the corners of his mouth turn up despite it.
It's existed for over 2,000 years. Say what you will about its motives and methods, but that's an impressive tenure.
He clasps his hand behind his back and begins pacing.
That's when I realized how short-sighted I'd been. To think I could undo the Leaden Key without understanding how it works.
Adair points affably in approval. So I listen.
I found references to an ancient Leaden Key cabal in the Deadfire. Possibly one of the oldest, if accounts are credible. And they appear to have been working independently, without direct intervention from Theos, for almost 2 millennia.
He watches me eagerly, waiting for that to sink in. You think that by observing them, you can learn how the Leaden Key works?
And how to destroy it, yes.
A faint trace of a smile forms on Adair's lips.
Most sources refer to them as the Painted Masks. But I haven't met anyone here who knows that name. I don't know where in the Deadfire they are exactly, but I was hoping we could look for them together.
He folds his hands, looking hopeful and a little sheepish. I don't want to promise the impossible. There's not much to go on, but we'll try.
That's all I ask.
He bows his head. Pelagina nods, the corners of her mouth turning into a faint grin. Adair?
I got time.
No. Nothing new to talk about? Hey, I'll get moving then. Old and grim, the mariner salutes. Alright, let's go look up on deck then. Yeah, our ship is a little small. A little cramped. Really think we can use a bigger one. Seems like Maya wants to speak to me. Yes,
I
Maya?
should come clean about something, Captain.
Maya scratches the back of her head, sighing. Speak your mind.
Atsura didn't set me loose just so I could stay busy. Fact of the matter is, he gave me a job to do.
Mm-hmm.
I've got this stack of missives I need to deliver. Noble errand, right?
She shows me a small collection of scrolls in her pack, all judiciously sealed with the sigil of the Royal Deadfire Company. Okay.
The company has a lot of people working away from headquarters, and Atsura trusted me to get these in the right hands. I hope that isn't a problem.
Aren't you a little overqualified for courier work?
Watch out, Ishi. We've got a charmer on our hands.
Maya plays at whispering to her bird, though she wears a knowing smile.
That's the thing about Atsura. He keeps so many irons in the fire at once that everything seems like a high priority.
What's in these missives?
A bit of everything. Shipping manifests, requisitions for supplies, work orders. Mostly work orders. You wouldn't believe how much paperwork it takes to run a navy.
Anything else I should know about this job of yours? Reaching back to tighten her bun, Maya takes a moment to consider my question.
Don't take it personally if I'm vague on some of the details. Atsura likes his discretion, even when it comes to boring bureaucratic stuff.
Seraphim snickers quietly. Okay, I'll see that we can make the deliveries in good time.
Appreciate it, Captain. You'd be doing Atsura and the company a big favor.
She grins.
This one's bound for Harama, and acquaintance, good sailor. He's somewhere off in Tikawara.
Tikawara. She holds up a single scroll.
And these are for Tuaha, an old friend stationed in Port Maje. You meet some strange types in the Navy.
Had some questions.
I've got some answers.
Actually, never mind. Let's be off. Beodol? The galley on this tub ain't half bad. Seraphim.
Ahoy, Captain. What can I do you for?
Well, just checking to see if you're doing okay. And he seems to be. Little Luca? Need something, Captain? Mark?
Damn me, the cops run dry.
She really does like to drink. Rum Dum Rigere, I guess.
Abracima, Casita, for taking me on.
Merc and Rum Dum Rigere probably have a lot in common. Takehu.
What say, my friend?
Oh, tell me about water shaping, Takehu.
Ah, the art of our ancestors, I say. To bend water to our will is a gift from Mother Ngati to her chosen people.
Takehu stands tall and grins with pride.
Since devastation swept our way of life out to sea, too much of the art has been lost. Periki, founder of the guild, organized the lore of Ngati's talent into a series of postures and meditations we call the 4 forms of water shaping.
Tell me again about the forms.
Try as we might to embody Ngati's element, our bodies are not water. Ikera, this is the form of grief, a beginner's test.
Takehu closes his eyes and sweeps out his hands, exhaling sharply.
The body's internal water is a force that conquers all. Even the mountain will bow to the stream. The form of hope, I say.
Takehu crosses one leg before the other and sways on the spot.
Water commands its vessel, and the vessel can be shaped as surely as the mountain. The form of metamorphosis, Ikera?
Takehu opens his eyes, which now resembled polished onyx. His smile is hungry, predatory. He blinks, and the effect is gone.
The art is a challenge to grasp, difficult to master, and impossible to perfect. Unless you are Ngati's chosen, I say.
Okay. I'll be off. What was your name again? Gyordu Red-Handed? 4 hours sleep at a go. Kill me now. Okay. Well, we can go to Port Maje. Deliver 2 letters to 1 person, I believe. It's not too far off. A colorful parrot alights on the railing of my ship. A missive bound to its leg bears the sigil of the Kahanga tribe. Let's read that. Queen Anakana's Anakaza's missive. Captain Keldon. It would be my honor to host the Savior of Hisango at the Kahanga Palace. Nekataka is a city for Hawana and outsiders alike, and there is no shortage of work for Kith who are determined to be as useful as you. Should you have the stamina for a good climb, the palace atop Serpent's Crown could be your second home. Think on it. Regards, Queen Anakaza II. Now I have a formal invitation to go there. Okay, Port Maje is a bit out of the way. Let's see what this island here is like. Make our way down there, I suppose. All while exploring the Deadfire. Looks like we can pick up some fruit ahead. Fresh fruit. Abandoned village. Between failed sediments and discarded Hawana villages, the Deadfire Islands are spotted with promising ruins. The colonial outpost before me is as silent as a crypt. Though its buildings appear to be in fine repair, I don't see a single living soul among them. In the town square, I find a sign posted beside the remains of charred bodies. It warns of disease. Oh. We'll try to be careful. Let's search the location. If there's no one around, there's really not much chance of us catching anything. Take some time to search the abandoned village. 3 hours passed. And find nothing of value. Keep searching this location. Continue looking around. 3 hours have passed. Now we've found some fire kelp. Let's keep searching location. Another 3 hours have passed. Palmstone. It's good for crew morale. Keep searching this location. 4 hours have passed. And we've gained some rice. Found some bags of rice. Search every corner of the village. There's nothing left worth taking with me. Okay. We didn't really find bodies anywhere full of disease, so maybe it was just to scare off people that didn't want it to be ransacked while they left it. Maybe originally there was disease and they had to get away. Okay. Towards Port Maje we go, and I suppose we could make our way back to Nekataka. We've got several things to do there. This island with no trees or green anywhere. Dunnage. Yeah, that's where Captain Ferrante wants to meet me. It is a Principi Sen Petrena base, I suppose. Okay, just right south we go. Move into this island. That's where they had that race, swimming race, that we watched. I admit to not being the best swimmer, though I can swim. Valen trading ship, which only makes sense nearing Port Maje. Okay, go into the harbor. And we have to find this name that we're looking for. Would think it would just go to the governor's quarters, but the governor's mansion. Yeah, we killed the Scylla wave skipper. We have to return for the bounty at the Fleetmaster Wakoyo in the Brass Citadel. Dim prospects. So we do have a bounty for someone named Bena, a dwarf mystic responsible for conning or killing anyone who gets too close. I think that this has a bounty on her head, but she might be a little dangerous for us at the moment. Courier's calling. Okay, Maya's carrying a missive for Harama, a Rawatalian sailor, and an old friend of hers. Okay, that's in Tikiwara. So deliver a missive to Tuaha. She's in Port Maje. Tuaha. Is she...
Quaint place. The Republic sure know how to gussy up a village.
Is she... Rawatalian?
Race you to the coral. No contest. What? Just because you have webbed fingers and I can't swim? You are a strange man.
I'm on the next ship out of here. Unless you're here to kick me off the docks this time.
Yeah, I don't know. We're gonna have to search around. Maybe she's at the Kraken Inn. We actually do need to spend a night there. I'm a little injured. But where is the governor's estate? Let's go there. Person we seek could be there. Or at the inn. One or the other, we're gonna find her. That's Tuaha over there. Tuaha, so says Maya. And Amoa clutches the hilt of a long saber sheathed at her belt, her attention moving among the passers-by without ever settling anywhere for long. She stands as motionless and watchful as an owl. She turns to Maya and flinches, shaking her head subtly.
Been a while, Tuaha. You're looking healthy.
Maya attempts an easy shrug, but it comes off looking forced.
Don't say my name. Is he still here?
Tuaha hisses each word under her breath. She tips her head to indicate just over her shoulder. So I scan the crowd, see if anything stands out. The occasional pedestrian crosses my view, but everyone seems to be going about their business without tarrying for a second. Just as I decide to give up, a passing Juana raises his eyes from scribbling on a page of notes. He pockets the parchment and steps back into the obscurity of the crowd. The gesture is innocuous enough, but the speed and ease of it leave me in doubt.
You saw that too, right?
Maya nods.
Well?
Tuaha addresses me through clenched teeth. We've grabbed someone's attention, that's for sure.
I knew it.
Her grip on her saber tightens.
Who's your shadow? I'll string him up by his thumbs before he lays a hand on you.
Pelagina nods, the corners of her mouth turning to a faint grin. Thoughtful, Shoti rubs a knuckle along the edge of her jaw.
Well, he's obviously not one of ours. Unless Atsuras sent someone to monitor me. Must be working for the other side.
Tuaha aims an anxious glance in my direction. Other side? Maya, care to elaborate?
Not everyone in the Deadfire lays out the welcome mat for Rauatai. That shouldn't be any surprise.
She frowns, considering. Takehu folds his arms and watches carefully.
Tuaha, I'm getting you out of this. We've pulled each other out of worse snags.
Maya pats Tuaha on the arm, an attempt at encouragement that only causes her to flinch. Shoti nibbles on her lips to hide a spreading smile.
Easy to say when it's in the past. This stalker is relentless, and he is always watching.
Tuaha rubs her palms together. What can you tell me about whoever is following you?
He's Juana, average height, and I've caught him scribbling on a sheaf of notes. Like any good tale, he's indistinguishable from anyone else wandering around Port Maje. Probably why they picked him for the job.
Tuaha's lips curl. What are you doing that has him so curious?
Company business.
Maya and Tuaha blink as they say at the same time. Pelagina seems to like that, and Shoti flicks a sickle back and forth, agitated.
Company business.
Tuaha clears her throat into a fist. Okay. We'll find your stalker and get rid of him, one way or the other.
Sit tight and I'll get this sorted out. Whatever happens, he won't bother you again. Just try not casual.
Maya gives her an encouraging shrug.
I will stand perfectly still and fill my heart with the words of our national anthem.
Tuaha nods, resolute.
Yeah, that's exactly what I meant.
Okay, so let's go find this person.